Welcome to episode 2, season 2 of Model Airport Reviews, where today I will be reviewing 8 more of your model airports. If you haven't seen the last episode, Snow Peak Airport and Jackson County Airport are going on to the grand finale. Anyway, let's go to the first airport. The airport I'll be reviewing is Durango La Plata County Airport, located in Colorado, USA, made by Wills Aviation. Sorry if I said your airport name wrong. Anyway, we're off to a good start here in episode 2, as this airport has tons of detail, including a terminal, gates, and a runway. He has tons of ground crew services, and I can even see here maybe like a presidential escort or something like that. The modeling grass looks perfect, and taking this photo outside really adds a good sense of detail to the airport. He has a parking lot and, in my opinion, a very unique and good, well-detailed terminal. This photo may not have a lot of things in it, but I promise you there's a ton of detail. The ILS box and the windsocks look perfect. The modeling grass is perfect, and the runway markings are also perfect with the tire marks. His taxi lines are perfectly straight and outlined, and in my opinion, I think this airport is super detailed and has a very high chance of going to the grand finale. Anyway, let's move on to the second episode because this airport is really good. Second airport I'll be reviewing, not the real one, is Tromsø Airport, located in Tromsø, Norway. This airport is not completed, but I still think there is some things I need to talk about this airport. Now, this photo is just amazing. I don't know how you made like the snow or ice on the ground, but it looks really good. He even has real people and ground crew services all around the aircraft. I can't tell, but it seems to be that you 3D printed your terminal, which, if you did, is a very cost-friendly way to get a terminal. In this photo, we can see carriers from all around the world, from Delta and America to UAE, Emirates, to British Airways in London, to Scandinavian Airlines. Some things that I would change are probably adding some taxi lines using a yellow Posca pen and outlining them with a black ink pen, which will make it stand out very well in the snow. You can see a little bit of the red from the airport stands, but you can maybe use a red Posca pen and make sure those are a little bit thicker so they're more visible and will stand out really good. Overall, I think your airport is still very detailed with the planes, ground crew services, and all the snow. Anyway, let's move on to the third airport in today's episode. The airport I'll be reviewing is Wisconsin Lakeside Airport, made by Aviation MKE, located in Wisconsin, USA. Through these 5 photos, this airport will absolutely blow your mind. And this is just me, or all these photos 10 times better when they're taken at golden hour. It has tons of American and Canadian carriers from all around the world, and he even has tons of JetBridge advertisements as well. He also has a great amount of ground crew services, a whole road, and this terminal is very realistic. He has a whole cargo section with this Kalitta Air 767 loading up with cargo, and a United hangar here in the background. This photo also looks great with some snow plows lining up on the runway as well. To be honest, I don't think there is one bad thing about this airport. The modeling grass looks perfect, the nature looks perfect, he has a windsock, the terminal is super realistic, cargo terminal is super realistic, and this airport is so good. I'm lost for words how realistic this airport is. This airport is so realistic, and I could never do this in years. Do a whole video on this airport if I wanted to. There's so much detail, and I think this airport is super realistic. Anyway, let's move on to the 4th airport in today's episode. This airport has a definitely high chance of making it to the grand finale. The 4th airport I'll be reviewing is Halifax Stanfield International Airport, located in Halifax, made by Gaming with Benjamin. Now, although this airport only took 3 days, I still think he did a pretty good job making it. He has a good amount of ground crew services, 2 cargo hangars, a terminal, and even a parking lot, which is very cool. I'll say something to fix is probably fixing your runway numbers, because 67 and 217 are not runway numbers, unfortunately. Runway numbers can only be 1 to 36 because of the degree that the runway is pointing to. Even has a small military section here, but the cargo terminals both look very good as well. Some things you could add to your airport are maybe some more ground crew services, which you can find more realistic versions on Gemini Jets or LittleModelAirport.com, which are cheap, cost-friendly paper versions. Also, maybe add some modeling grass, which you can find on Amazon or your local hobby store, which will make your airport stand out very good. Anyway, in my opinion, I think you have a pretty good airport, speaking of how it only took 3 days and it's made out of cardboard. Anyway, let's move on to the 5th airport in today's episode. The 5th airport I'll be reviewing is St. Croix in the Caribbean, made by Wills Aviation. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong again. Now, when I first saw this airport, I was like, is this an airport, Matt? But I will tell you, this is not an airport, Matt, and it is a super well-detailed airport. Just in this photo here, we see a ton of ground crew services, cones, and even ground service workers out on the plane working on it to fuel it up, and that has so much detail attention to it. Like I said, he has tons of ground crew services, tons of stands, and I can't even tell what's over there, but it just looks super realistic. Here we can see some American carriers, and it seems to be he's 3D printed the ground crew services, which is super cost friendly and is a great way to get super detailed ground crew services. Over here we have some other aircraft with some remote stands, which is a very cool touch and is very unique. The modeling grass looks perfect. I love the palm trees. The apron looks perfect, and this airport is so good and has a very high chance of making it also to the grand finale. Anyway, let's move on to the 6th airport in today's episode. The 6th airport I'll be reviewing is Sky King Key International Airport, located in Florida, Tampa, made by Sky High Aviation Official. Although this is an airport, Matt, here's some things that I would maybe add to your model airport. Is some modeling grass. You can fill in the black spaces with modeling grass and will make the airport stand out very good. The second thing is adding some more terminals, which will make your airport less basic and will make your airport have some depth. The final thing is ground crew services. You can get some ground crew services from 3D printing, littlemodelairport.com, or Gemini Jets. There's tons of different types, but I would recommend getting some ground crew services, which will make your airport look very good. I believe using these tips will help your airport look much better instead of just a blank mat. Anyway, let's move on to the 7th airport in today's episode. Second to last airport I'll be reviewing is Squab International Airport, which is located in Hawaii Market, Florida, made by Aviation Squad Productions. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Something I like about his airport is how he can light up at nighttime and how he used paper around a box to make as a terminal, which is a very cost-friendly way. In here we have some nature, which is also a very cool and unique touch. He has great amount of aircraft, and his remote stands and taxi lines look good. Some tips I would give you are maybe outlining your taxi lines, which will make it look much more realistic. You can also add some modeling grass, which will make your airport stand out. And like the other airports, maybe add some paper ground crew services, 3D printing, or Gemini Jets. In my opinion, I think your airport has a possible chance of making it to the grand finale. Anyway, let's move on to the final airport in Season 2, Episode 2. The final airport I'll be reviewing is Minsk National Airport, located in Minsk, Belarus, made by Noravia, Belarus. Now, although this airport only took 20 minutes, I think it looks amazing. He has plenty of amount of aircraft, plenty of ground crew services, plenty of jet bridges, and even some ground crew workers. Just this image right here looks amazing. There's tons of ground crew services, and I don't know how you make these jet bridges. This would take me a month to build. Now, the only real 2 tips I would give you are maybe outlining your taxi lines, which will make your airport look super realistic, and also maybe add some modeling grass if you can. But I can clearly see here that this model airport is pretty small. Although this airport is small, I still think that you have a pretty good chance at making it to the grand finale. Which brings us to the end of this video, where comment down below your favorite airports that should move to a voting in which you guys will be able to vote to who goes to the grand finale. Peace.